start rail fanning the CN, there's lots of things that pop into my head. The first thing usually is how lucky am I going to be to catch at least more than 2 trains within the span of an hour? Because let's be honest, I don't really have the patience to wait out next to the tracks just for 3 trains within the span of 5 hours. But the second thing is being called in by not-so-friendly crews, because CN seems to be notorious for that, and I don't really want to deal with CN police. But there's always that odd time where I get a gut feeling that today is going to be a good day on CN. And in this video, that was just the case. The evening would start out like any other evening, except the only difference is that we were on the CN Sprague sub, for no particular reason other than there was 5 trains in Symington waiting to go out onto the Sprague. With seeing that, the decision was made to go sit just outside of Deacon's Corner to watch some of these trains. The first train we would film would happen to be led by a Dash 9 rebuild, classified now as an AC44 C6M. The crew on this train was very friendly, even gave us a tap on the horn. Once the train cleared, we basically spent 45 minutes procrastinating, doing God knows what, until we heard the beautiful sounding horn on an eastbound. Now, something that I find interesting about a lot of these 2800 series CN Geos is that they have a lot of mismatched horns. Some of them you'll have raised letter K5HLs, others you'll have 3 chimes like K3Ls, K3LAs, but on the very special occasion you'll find one with a K5H. This unit indeed had a K5H and it was very beautiful sound, which, just like the other train, the crew was also very friendly and gave us a double tap of the horn. You know, come to think of it, it would be at this moment in time that I was questioning my sanity on why the crews were so friendly on CN today. Because whenever I'm on CN, I seem to only catch the grumpy crews, and it's very rare that I get friendly crews, especially friendly crews that give horn salutes and horn shows, so this was definitely a treat. Now, if there's one thing I noticed about this train is that it had a lot of interesting graffiti. As pictured here from these still shots from our photographer David, you can see that this train had quite the variety. I'm actually planning on doing a video about how certain graffiti stays on rail cars and equipment longer than the others. I think it's a pretty interesting topic, and I think you'll find it pretty interesting too. Make sure you stay tuned, because that is definitely in the works. After shooting those trains on the Sprague sub, it was getting pretty dark, so we decided to head back into the city and make our way towards the CPKC as the radio chatter was hopping. After arriving at CPKC's Winnipeg yard, we were greeted with an absolute cluster of a lash-up. Some would even go as far as saying that this is something you'd see on Roblox or Train Simulator. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. This was the lash-up. First of all, you've got AC 4400 CWM CP 8139. Then you've got GP 38-2 CP 4421. And then you've got Sioux Line GP 38 4402, which might I add is one of the last Sioux Line painted locomotives on the CP roster, or just in general. And then last out, we've got KCS ST70 ACE 4030. Was built in September of 1977 as Sioux Line 792. It has always been a GP 38-2 and served on Sioux Line until the takeover by Canadian Pacific. Since then, it was relegated to local and yard service, serving in places like Minneapolis, Winnipeg, and Thunder Bay. Now with CPKC, the locomotive usually resides in Thunder Bay. However, I have no clue what this thing is doing over here. I tried to keep tabs on it shortly after the train arrived, but I kind of lost track as it was moved into the shops. Do I have any idea where it is now? No. That's for you rail fans to figure out. The quartet of locomotives was then marshaled to the shop track, where it would be broken up and sent into the shop for various repairs, refreshes, or refuels. Whichever one it was, I don't know, but they went to the shop. After watching that lash up, we were then greeted by several different yard jobs, including the CPKC Swing Crew, IMS, and South Hump. The CPKC Swing Crew usually has two GP38-2s that are RCO or remote control operator capable. South Hump, the same can be said. However, IMS usually has a triple set of GP20C Ecos. We'd also see 420's power being active and heading over to G-Yard to marshal its train. CPKC 420, not to be confused with what people like to do on April 20th, giggity. The train 420 runs from Winnipeg to Toronto daily as a mixed manifest, serving Sudbury and Thunder Bay respectively. For those of you Winnipeg area foamers, the crew usually gets on duty between 8:30 and 10 o'clock. While the train ends up usually departing Winnipeg at around 12 to 12:30 a.m. that, we were then greeted with the IMS set of locomotives pulling out cars from storage. Now, the IMS crew tonight was very friendly. As you can see in the second clip, the conductor was on the front platform of the locomotive, literally dancing for our cameras. Mr. Conductor, if you are watching this, that definitely made our night. After IMS went away, that would pretty much be the only train we would see for the rest of the night. Now, I don't necessarily want to end the video off here, so here's 2 more clips of trains on the Sprague sub that we caught about 3 weeks earlier. In these shots, we are located at the grain elevator in Dufresne. Those trains wrap up the video. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and comment on what you want to see next. And stay tuned for that graffiti video coming out. I'm thinking it's gonna be a hit. Anyways, that's it for me. This is Maple, signing off.